Mount Smart on a damp Saturday afternoon, October the 7th, 2017, and all set for finals day with the New Zealand Rugby League Premiership. And first up, it will be Counties Manukau against the Bay of Plenty Lakers in the promotion relegation final. Hello, folks. Welcome to Sky Sport 2 and again live Rugby League as we head towards Rugby League World Cup 2017. And we won't say too much about what the last week's been having for us to talk about. Stephen McIver, Tashi Yaramia. That's the talking point right now. Counties Manukau, last year's beaten finalists, now in promotion relegation territory, Tash.
A bit of a surprise in this whole tournament here. Of course, finalists last year, they could have taken out the whole comp, and this year they're looking at being relegated. So that in itself is a little bit scary for their fans.
I think if you go back to their match last weekend against the Waikato Prems, who are now into the final against the defending champions Akarana, you'd have to be honest and say their execution of the game last week was less than what Coach Rod Ratter would have expected.
I think that stemmed from a lot of their communication was lacking as well. You and I were both on the sideline. We didn't hear much on attack or on defence, hence why the execution was probably lacking as well.
The good thing about this, though, is we've got a team like the Bay of Plenty, who probably you would remember them as being part of the Waikoa Bay beforehand, but now solely Bay of Plenty, are very excited. The word is there's a lot of people back in the Bay watching right now on Sky Sport 2, just genuinely excited about where they sit in rugby league locally.
And that excitement as well was warmed up with the Nationals competition for the under-15s and under-17s this week. So they love their rugby league in Bay of Plenty, and this in itself is really exciting for everyone there.
That's right. You were in Rotorua. How did your boys' side go, the 15s?
Oh, they won in the final.
The Akarana 15s?
Yes, they took on the other Auckland side, the Vulcans, so that was a good final.
Well, congratulations. Well done. You didn't coach them, did you?
No, I didn't.
Because you're a pretty good coach. We know that from Marist. Counties Manukau against Bay of Plenty is our first match-up and promotion relegation. Then it's the main one. Akarana Falcons, the defending champions, up against the Waikato Prems under the tutelage of Morgan Kutia. The one thing they did last week with Aaron Jolly running them around was they dug deep when they needed to because they were on the back foot for quite some time. Akarana found their way back into the match, but just the way Jolly led them in those last 40 minutes, I thought it was really good.
He's really good at making the calls in that team, and of course, in order for anything to work, everyone's got to buy in. And you see when Aaron Jolly's running the team around the paddock, they're all buying into that and they're following him and what he says. Mind you,
if you look at Aaron Jolly, he's the one guy you target and shut down. He just might shut down the whole side, though.
Absolutely. I think he is the one to target in that Waikato side. And Akarana, of course, they know that as well.
All right, they're the defending champions. That's game number 2 a little bit later on. But first of all, it's Bay of Plenty up against Counties Manukau as we go inside the dressing rooms to just get a feel for it. And, well, that's probably what it says it all. They're all pretty relaxed and pretty excited. And they have a pretty strong local competition. But talking to their coach, Pani, he's pretty much said they would like to rejoin maybe and back into that Waikato frame to maybe strengthen that area.
Rejoining, yes, of course they'll strengthen it because their numbers will be up. But I think look at how far they've come just on their own.
All righty, let's get a look at their lineup now. And here's Dale. Afternoon to you, Dale.
Good afternoon to you too, Stephen and Tash. Kia ora, guys. Okay, well, here is the lineup for the Bay of Plenty Lakers. Their coach is Pani Daniels. Look, it really is a make-up of the Pacific squad out of Tokoroa and the Pikiao squad out of Rotorua. They're the dominant force in Bay of Plenty Rugby League, and the team stacked with players from those two clubs. Some interesting players, though, to keep an eye out for. Aussie Tufangai played a prop last week. He's in the centres today. Keep an eye out for Johnson Petty, one of the players not from those two proud clubs. He's actually from the Magakino Hawks, and he will captain the squad. On the bench today, we have Hunt, Utanga, Wehapi and Filippo, and of course the coach for the Bay of Plenty Lakers is Pani Daniels.
Well, Pani we've seen Waikato and they've shown the championship and the strength of what they can bring last year into the Premiership. Your thoughts, how excited are you tonight to have the chance to be promoted?
Oh, very excited. I think Waikato's set the pathway for us, and I think it's up to us to step up today.
Well, the belief will be high. You're unbeaten in the championship, so there's no doubt you're coming in with some real momentum behind you.
Yeah, definitely, and it's all about that. We've had a couple of close wins the last couple of games, but today we've got to get it right.
Got to get it right against a side that's been dominant over a number of years. How do you beat a wounded county side tonight?
I think Waikato showed us last week, and I think for us, we've just got to hold the ball and apply pressure, and we'll get a result.
It's a nice coming in relatively unknown because they haven't seen a lot of the team play.
Definitely an advantage for us, and we'll take it.
Good luck, Pani.
Cheers, thank you.
Just keeping a lid on it is Pani Daniels, the coach of the Bay of Plenty Lakers, who faces up to probably a hurt in many ways Counties Manukau Stingrays, but they will be they will be ready for this one. They know this ground well. That's the other thing we've got to remember too. For the Bay of Plenty Lakers, haven't played here before, so there's always, not that there's a huge crowd obviously, but the fact that it's the home of rugby league in this country now, and that brings something with it.
Absolutely, but like Pani Ora said, people don't know too much about their team either, and they're going to take that as a plus going forward into this game.
Alrighty, well, let's just get inside that Counties Manukau dressing room, seeing how they're just warming up. Well, they're smart. That looks pretty relaxed. Well, they've been here before, and that in itself is probably like gives you a lift going out into that park.
Yeah, but of course they've got more to lose in this game as well. They could get relegated, and they're probably sitting there. They're a little bit nervous going into this game, and they've got a lot more going on the line.
He gave it the old Johnny Danger flick, wasn't
The swig.
it? The swig, gave it the old Johnny Danger swig. We like that. All right, so Counties Manukau are all good to go. Let's take a look at their lineup with Dale.
Johnny Danger, please. Okie doke, here they come. This is the Stingrays. Look, it's been a pretty flat year in the Auckland club competition, and Rod Ratu's team is suffering from that fate too, because most of the teams in the south side ended up mid-table in the Box Championship and below. So Edwards is at the back. Ton of pace. Keep an eye out for Stowers, his combo with Joyce in the halves, and of course some powerhouse performers in the front row with Venisi, A. Lupo. Johnny Whittenbow has been playing out of his skin, and Big Dawson, Brown, Blucher and Aliaiti make a pretty formidable bench as well for the coach Rod Ratu.
Right, this time last year you're contesting the final. Now you find yourself in the promotion relegation match. How are the nerves?
Yeah, always try and stay composed and not read too much into these sort of games and that, and just again focus on what we need to be doing.
Your side's been on TV. We haven't seen much of the Lakers. What can you tell us about their strengths?
Haven't watched any footage in regards to their games and that, but I heard they're very good, very decent forward pack. So we're looking at trying to compete in that middle.
Counties have been a very strong team throughout this premiership over a number of years. How important is it for the side to stay up tonight?
Very important. New sort of system running in there this year, so relegation, it's not what we sort of planned, but it is what it is, and congratulations to those teams out, and they're pushing us to get these opportunities to play in this division.
Good luck, Rod.
Thank you.
Rod Ratu, one of the real gentlemen in the game of rugby league. You've had a quick look at the Bay of Plenty Lakers warming up. What did you make of them?
I had a little chat to Pani Ora as well while they were training and warming up, and apparently they've been easing off a little bit this week, just working on their systems and processes, he said.
Don't use process.
But less intense.
You're not allowed to use the word process. You know that with me. You cannot use the word process.
It wasn't my
It's
word.
such a coach thing to use the word process, is it not? But it'll be interesting. Reece Charlie comes up against Jason Fariatu, the two back rowers. That's one matchup that we are really looking forward to. Teams should just about be ready to go here for the promotion and relegation final. Just a reminder, the Rugby League World Cup is not too far away. Starts October the 25th. Friday night, Australia versus England is the first match, and then New Zealand against Samoa is the first match. And with all what's been going on, this Rugby League World Cup is set to explode. So make sure you are somewhere near Sky Sport during the late October and all the way through November and the first week of December. Time to get busy, folks. One goes up, one goes down. It's the promotion relegation final. Counties Manukau against the Bay of Plenty Lakers, live on Sky Sport 2.
And welcome to Mount Smart Stadium. Thanks so much for the introduction, Stephen, Tash, and of course my friend, and yours as well, Monty Betham is beside me today. Monty, this seems like a David and Goliath, but to be honest, there have been some good footballers who've come out of the Bay area over the years, and they'll have to lift themselves, admittedly, but they'll have to hang tough for that first 20 minutes, because you get a gut feeling too, if they don't, then the score could push out. There's plenty of experience in this county's Manukau Stingrays squad for Rod Ratu.
Plenty of experience, but there are going to be nerves there because they realise the proud history that they've had in this competition. They want to stay there tonight. They realise they've been a little bit down on form and where they should be. This time last year, they were contesting the final. For the Lakers, well, it's exciting times. Nerves are there too because they've got the potential to follow Waikato and be up in the Premiership.
The Lakers, there they are on screen, and they'll be playing from right to left as they just change ends. The officials today, the referee today, Simon Taylor. Nathan Barker Pringle is one touch judge and the other is Lance Bullen. Very pleased to have your company too right around Aotearoa, and of course across the globe nowadays with internet accessibility. It's really great to have you here as we count down the local comp. and build up towards the international competition that Stephen was alluding to as well. Of course, World Cup heading to Sky, and there'll be some fabulous games coming up. The boys in the Bay will start with a haka. Well, Provincial New Zealand can teach some of us about the haka, that's for sure. The urban boys haven't got one to respond with. But, of course, Rotorua, the home of our Māori tourism industry as well. They're very proud of that dimension, as well they should be. So here are your officials for tonight's game. Remember, this is promotion relegation. So should the Lakers win, they will go into the top tier. Of course, everyone would be predicting that the Stingrays, with the strong lineup, should have dominance here, but hey, this is rugby league. The Lakers have already knocked over Northland and Coastlines. They faltered, but only just to Waikato Development before cleaning up Wellington and Otago. So they've had a pretty good season, and they will be taking a lot of that form into tonight's game. Great to have you along here on Sky Sport 2, and the Lakers, I thought for a moment allowing it to bounce. It's our first viewing of a few of these lads as well too, Monty, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to deliver early on in this match.
And a lot of these guys will have nerves, excited about playing on TV, excited at the big time, and seeing what it's like with these first initial touches against the Premiership teams and what they've got. No doubt they've been watching these county sides over a number of years on TV, some household names for them.
Very much so. Of course, the local competition in Auckland has been televised for a number of years. Not so the local comp down in the Sulphur City. So a warm welcome to you all. Of course, hosting the National Māori Tournament, Rotorua too, in a fortnight's time. As we see the ball going out wide, and some skillful hands from Cameron Walters, who's wrapped up just short of the halfway line. Dummy half work for Destry Tomai. Gets the left foot kick, taken easily at the back too for George Edwards. Played a bit of wing for Rod Latu during the tournament. 4 weeks of the tournament. And it's tough for New Zealand Rugby League, and stuck between a rock and a hard place, really trying to get the structure right. Coming off the back of club comps. Of course, it's important to have a provincial competition, but just getting that format and structure right. We'll remember the Lion Red and the Bartercard Cups didn't quite pan out as hoped, and impacted negatively on the club competitions, which have returned in now this 4-week provincial series. Still brought out some good football. I hope you've been enjoying it. This is the culmination of it all here on Sky. This game, and later, Akarana and Waikato will do battle as well, and that was danger times there, as the Stingrays are up too early and deemed offside as well. So the Lakers from deep within their own territory.
Well, it's a silly play. They did well defensively to repel what counters were throwing at them early. Now they get a back-to-back set, taste of Premiership level.
So with the ball now is David Toitu, and he makes it look that easy. He's been playing strong, David. And this time around, he just proves once again that he is a class act. 2 minutes in, and the Stingrays are in.
Yep, that's right. Now, we mentioned what it's going to be like to come up. You can go and do what you can with the first initial exchanges, but when you give them back-to-back sets, guys that are big and strong, that have been there and played at a different pace to you, as you see Toitu, pretty awful defence early on. Some alarming signs for the Lakers. Wonder what's it. The back of the line now as they try and keep the spirits up.
Well, we saw in the curtain raiser to this game, the New South Wales combined high schools getting an absolute walloping from the New Zealand 18s. It's 52-0. Oh no, they scored late, so 52-4. Congratulations to that New Zealand squad. And once again, we've got a ton of good talent. Stowers looks to add the extras. Pretty handy position here now. We've been awaiting some rain today in Auckland. It's held off for the most part, but could come bucketing down at any time. The lights are on here. Mount Smart Stadium. So try scorer David Toitu.
Oh, he's probably thinking there's plenty on offer tonight after that first run. That's why the smiles across his face from ear to ear. Let's hope that the Lakers have something strong for them defensively in this set.
David's been playing his football for the Papakura club.
Stay behind, kicker, fellas. Stay behind.
Ended up mid-table today.
On you one. Line's good.
The Fox Memorial Championship. Here is the kickoff. Got some genuine size in this squad for Rod Ratu as Tautalanoa. Vanessa proves the point. Another barging run, and the Lakers scrambling on D already, so making good meterage here. The third roll of the dice on this set. 10 short of halfway. Peeling out of dummy half is the try scorer Toitu.
Movement! Stand! 12 with me, 12.
Midway, 40-50. Lakers end. Looking to push it sideways again into the hands of Vanisi. He's wrapped up by Tarangi. Jersey 10 for the Lakers. Down the short side, they come looking, and there's the kick of Joyce. At the back, some pressure on. The bounce is good for William Cook, though. Gets hold of the ball, but then is driven back into the end goal. And they'll go underneath the crossbar for the restart. So everything coming up roses at the moment for the Stingrays.
Well, I suggest the nerves are gone for the Lakers. Now they're just realising what it's like to play in this competition. They've gone full length of the field, put in a nice kick, and look at the numbers chasing through. Plenty of them then, not a lot that Cook could do. 4 or 5 defenders right on top of him. Now it's a real danger time for the Lakers. They need to repel whatever counties throw at them in this set. Otherwise, it's going to be open slather.
Well, Johnson Petty's the most experienced. He's also the skipper. So he's really going to have to talk to his men and say, fellas, we have to work hard as Johnson Petty gets into the defensive work. Willie Stowers with a step towards the line. He comes gashing towards the try line. He's only 8 metres out. Tough times here for the Lakers. Vanisi again through the middle. They shut him down, but you feel that it's only a matter of time, and they've certainly got the numbers out the left edge as the red machine winds itself up and towards the line, reaching out for the try. Johnny Vittenbow, he's been excellent through this tournament. He's had a great season, and he's in the train-on squad for the Fiji squad as well, so he really is a name to watch, and he's having a magnificent year. And this time around, a bit of work to do as he got close to the line, but he made it look easy.
Well, if it's going to be like this, everyone's going to be lining up to have their turn. They can't stop them. It's like men against boys at times. As you see them coming down the short side. Nice quick play of the ball. They need to find some sort of stop initially with some impact. He did really well, Vittenbow. And he got the ball down right on the line. Left-hand carry. Not sure if that's his normal hand or if he progressed it over to that side, but regardless, did some great stuff in scoring that try. They've been down there twice, they've scored twice. What's being said now behind the lines is what I want to know.
William Stowers again, another of the young men who played last season in the Fox Memorial Championship winning team for Papakura. So those flags are up as well. It's 12-0 and ominous signs here for the Bay of Plenty Lakers playing in the promotion relegation final of the New Zealand Rugby League Premiership. 12-0 early on. Gee, he's been good this year.
Oh, he sure has. And it's nice to see the Lakers really getting off that line, ready to kick the ball off. Get set in their ways to try and make some stops here defensively. They weren't taking their time getting back to the restart.
So the fullback with the restart, William Cook. Let's see if the Lakers can put up a bit more solid defence and not allow the red machine to career downfield. Well, here's a little mistake, which will give the Lakers some heart here. They haven't had any football. Now they do. 25 metres out from the try line as we get up at a scratchy play the ball from Johnny V.
Well, it's just like last time we had the try score touching the ball from the kickoff. It's Johnny V's turn. Poor mistake. Now they've had little ball, little opportunity. Now they get the chance, the Lakers. Let's see what they have.
It's peeled off the back for a starting run. They have had precious little ball so far, so let's see what they might have. As Destry Tomei comes into the acting half roll, pushes it back up on the inside for Scott Evans. Charges forward, wrapped up by Vanisi as well.
On the line. Go to.
Scotty Evans from Pikiao. Now the backdoor play, and it's clever too. Crook gets it across to Cameron Walters. He's wrapped up though. A wall of Stingrays come to shut him down and earning a penalty as well.
That's going to help their cause. A few more tackles to throw at them. Now let's see what they can dream up. Looking pretty good with the ball in hand, especially down that left side. Cook got the ball on a weird line, but he still looked likely.
Well, it would just be a real boost to confidence if they're able to charge towards the line. This time the back row, Whareaitu has it. He's only 6 metres out, but he won't get a quick play of the ball. Tamai frustrated. Immediately it's out to Scott Evans. He won't get through here either because the wall of defenders is up quickly on him. Vanisi and Amaja to the right they go, and it's held up momentarily. Trying to look back for the pop ball is Kale Pomare. He's wrapped up by Aiulupo. And now just 5 metres out from the try line. This is a barging run. The pop pass comes up late. It's to Whareaitu. He's still close to the line, but he gets sandwiched as well. And Nicholas Wilson on debut now for the Counties Manukau Stingrays in 2017. Puts on a good tackle, as does the back rower, Reece Charlie. Tarangi to acting half. The grubber kick to the end goal. It's in there now. George Edwards is under some pressure, but he manages to get out into the field of play. Skillful, needed a bit more support as well from the defenders from the Lakers.
Well, it's the little plays like that. You make the tackle there, you get a real chance to throw something at them with another back-to-back set. There would have been 3 sets in a row, and real chance to get a defending team that's tiring, give up some points. There's a difference between the championship grade and the premiership grades, and really getting the points on the board. I think the likely strike's going to be from that man, Tarangi and Evans. Some second-phase players there. Their best chance, I feel, in this match to get creative.
Well, we know New Zealanders love the underdogs, and we're witnessing them here, aren't we? As mentioned in the build-up, the competition in the Bay of Plenty has been dominated by the 2 clubs. Pacific Sharks out of Tokoroa, a lot of mill workers and forestry workers are involved there, and of course the Ngāti Pikiao club out of Rotorua. A bit keen now, the boys from Pikiao, I'm told, to see how they might have gone against the Hamilton City Tigers or Taniwharo, as they have in the Waikoa Bay connection of yesteryear. But seemingly travel caused too much of a disruption. Well, the players enjoyed aspects of that interprovincial play. The management found it quite grueling, the travel demands on the tournament. This is Aussie Tufangai. Good kid too. I did some Māori lessons with him last year in a class, Aussie. And he was fit as a trout then. I think maybe he'd only be 19 now. And apparently he's been one of the standouts here for the Lakers.
Very good. And no doubt if he's been under your tutelage, he'd be very fine speaker of Te Reo.
I don't know, we're both learners, but he was a nice classmate, let's put it that way. Good young fella.
Once again, this will help the cause. If you think about the Lakers side and trying to build and gather some belief and some momentum, well, counties, they can't let them do this. This is going to keep them in the box here or help them out when you're wanting to sort of stamp your authority and show how great you are, the difference between the 2 sides. Second opportunity for this side. This man here looks like he creates some second face. Te Rangi.
So the Lakers are now 20 metres out. Can they offer up something challenging? Civic number 12's carts it forward, Jeremy Shulepo. I'll tell you a bit more about him in a mo too, because he's in good touches. The spinning effort of Johnson Petty, away from 1, make that 2. Johnson Petty is one of many Bushmen in the squad. I said, well, would they rather be called Foresters? They said, no, Bushman's good. Sort of sums it all up as big Ricky Hanatarangi gets them to within 5 metres. He'll need a quick play the ball. But a pedestrian that time as it popped out to Pettit, pushing it into the end goal. That's smart too, and this ball's gone down. They'll get another turn at it. The Lakers applying some pressure on the Stingrays.
They've been kicking well enough. They've been putting themselves in a situation to compete for the ball and the back-to-back set. The chase has to be a little bit better. Like I said, it's close difference in getting it right and getting a back-to-back set. It was a nice try, and I thought he had the ball in hand. Only to drop it. Put some pressure on his team now. Rafiti.
But he tried to get the scoop, didn't he? And it was pretty close to it. So Petty feeds the scrum, and from the back comes Cook, shuffling it out straight away to the right-hand side. This is Hugh Lepper again. Captained the Pacific Sharks this year, Jeremy Hugh Lepper. This is Tufangai. Kapai, Kia Kaha Aussie. And that is his real name, Aussie. I think he was born in Perth to a shearing family, Māori family that lived over there. Here he comes. He's lost the ball. Commentator's mocker. I'll have to stop giving raps to anyone.
No, I tell you what, though, there's some nice plays to give some raps on. Some second phase through multiple tackles there, and that's what you want. And I think that's the only way to really disrupt this defensive line that's coming with plenty of line speed. Plenty of shoulder contact. Come back against the grain. Here it is then. The offload. Aussie almost gets there. The shot right on the ball, dislodges at the ball, and relieves the pressure that is on this county side.
That would still, the last 3 or 4 minutes, would build confidence. You know, getting those early, conceding early tries, especially after 2 minutes. And they go, oh no. But they've been much better. And now 12-0, admittedly, but they've been in the game for the last 5 or 6 minutes, and that's got to build confidence for Paniora Daniels.
Yeah, builds confidence and also takes some of the petrol out of the tank. This side, Stingrays, that means they're not as potent when they come off their line defensively, not as potent with the ball in hand.
Hold for tap, hold for tap.
See there.
Go.
Hand on the ball. Too long, holding the man down. Gets the penalty, they come out of their own end. You don't want to give this side any help.
You know, my biggest concern is what are we going to do for the next few weeks?
Tell you what, there's a few weeks to do your homework on the rugby league side that you're going to support for the Rugby League World Cup coming up. 28th of November is the first one here on Sky TV. It's the Kiwis versus Toa Samoa, but the night before it's the English team versus Australia. So those are the 2 times. October the 28th is the first one. November is when it's all happening, and then I think the final 2nd of December.
Thanks, Monty. Commit those dates to memory and make sure you're available. Here we go now, though. The Stingrays, Rafiti and Buchanan. Rafiti makes it look easy, but some good build-up play through the middle. Well, we're just giving the Lakers a bit of a wrap. It all turns to custard, and the Stingrays really score an easy try down the right edge.
Well, it took a while to get the ball down. I think he was almost towards the dead ball line for Buchanan. Look at this nice backdoor play. Ball, here it is. It's the second phase. Stowers keeps the ball alive. It's a nice work from him. The footwork of that man, Buchanan and Rafiti, too good. But look how long it takes him to put the ball down. You don't have to score it over the line or even on the line is in. Look at that, all the way. Pretty unorthodox in his movement, perhaps potentially losing it. But still, 16 points to 0 now for this county side.
He's proudly from Manukau, but actually grew up in North Queensland. Buchanan Rafiti, it's him in shot there. Big Aiolo Ilupo. Taking in the big ones. So we've got about 3 weeks of no footy. In fact, I'm popping along to the ex-Kiwis Association gathering tomorrow.
Yep, I'm there tomorrow as well.
You'll pop along as well.
I'll be there and looking forward to talking to some of the legends who've worn the jumper over the years and paved the way. The guys come forward, and of course with the Rugby League World Cup coming up, there'll be plenty of talk about the rugby league side that is the Kiwi selection team at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk. You know, a little bit frustrated. We can lament those who have gone, but we've got a crack outfit representing us in the black and white jersey. I think as a country we should get him behind David Kidwell. It's a tough ask for him, and let's not talk so much about those not playing for the Kiwis, but the proud men who will. And they have still a very, very good chance of doing well in the comp. Of course, everyone expects them to make the final against Australia, but it's funny how things pan out. I mean, who would have thought Taranaki would take the Ranfurly Shield last night? At 31-6 down. Did you see that result?
Down. I sure did. I saw bits of it.
53-45. Absolutely amazing. So anything could happen, although 16-0 at the moment. The Lakers need to get hold of the football. They need to get some points on the board. Reece Charlie now peeling out a dummy half, goes Armitage. Look at the split. Oh, way to go, kid. He's out now, back on the inside, and here comes flying Reece Joyce. You won't stop him. Under the posts. Well, they are full of themselves at the moment, the Stingrays. They're carving up the Lakers here at Mount Smart.
Well, been seeing a lot of this over the years, not so much this year for the Stingrays. Look at that, out of dummy half. He knew the time to run. He dissected so many defenders on the chase back. Reece Joyce on hand, as all good halfbacks are. Support play, backing up right down the middle of the field to score a try under the black dot.
Well, point a minute, as this kick will be successful, I suggest, and will be 20-0 in 20 minutes. So the embarrassment perhaps of being in this position has played on their minds during the week. Come out and thought, well, I really have to lift myself up and charge into my work headlong and El Pronto. And, they've really made the Lakers struggle here, who go into a cluster beside the posts. Not quite sure what they can do about this. But I guess at 20-0 you can throw caution to the wind.
Yeah, I think they're feeling the backlash of a proud county side that over a number of years have been there or thereabouts. For that run straight up the middle, like to see the ball in two hands. He got there late in the end, but did the job well. Split all the defenders. Reece Joyce scored a great try to put them away to 20-point lead. Now I'm sure there's a lot of the guys from the Lakers having a think about this Premiership division and how different it is to the Championship right now.
Representing the upper central zone, the Lakers. And remember, this is a promotion relegation. If you've just joined us, the culmination of the month-long provincial championship hosted by New Zealand Rugby League and proudly broadcast here on Sky. So the Lakers under the pump at the moment. 20 minutes gone, it's 20-0. And here come the Stingrays. Well, they haven't had much football in their defence as well. Monty has got to earn the right to get the ball, and Armiger causes problems again. The back rower gets it this time. That's the other Reece Charlie now, and he's 8 metres out from the try line. George Edwards, dummy half, peeling it across, and here's Stowers with a kick. It's a poor kick, but it might not matter. Sliding away for one, there's Lafferty. Toy 2 pops it on into the hands of Nicholas Wilson. Still alive, and George Edwards. Edwards pushes it back on Stowers. It's still a goer. It's Vanessa. Now Armiger, and wide he comes to Johnny V. He goes across field, puts the ball onto Gillette. He's over the line. What a wonderful try. Great football from the Stingrays. And they are on fire here this evening.
Well, I can go back to the days of the Manukau County's heroes, Dolphins originally, then it was the Heroes. They brought to us a nice expansive play of football that we've loved for many years, and now we see this side not up to their best this year, but now showing us what they're capable of. Lovely range of skills, offloads, backup, you name it, people scrambling, refusing to let the ball settle and die. Johnny V, very good on the outside. And that man, once again, scores a good try. We've seen plenty from him this year. Royden Gillette.
So 24-0, the scoreline now as Stowers gets himself set. On the far side of the field. The try was scored right in the corner by Gillette. You might recall from the NRL rookie program, and he hits it nicely enough, but just waved away late. Royden Gillette Howick Hornet. So here it is, the venue of the Warriors for season 2018 as well. A lot of expectation with the arrival of some new names. Of course, Tuku Harris will be a Warrior next year, but he won't be a Kiwi for the World Cup, sadly. Adam Blair, the captain of the national squad, returning home after, what, 15 years away, I guess it would be.
Release now! Live it up, square!
Great to have him here at Te Pao Rarotonga, the original name of Mount Smart Stadium here.
Release now! 14
As we see,
good.
the Stingrays, midway, 30 and 40. We have had that score confirmed, and thank you to Stephen, who was looking at me with eyebrows, saying, "Are you sure that's right, that score?" 26-0.
Release down! Square up!
Issues aplenty here for the Lakers. A little shuffle on, David Toitu gets it, throws the dummy, back on the inside, and young Nicholas is in to score. Nicholas Wilson, good on him too. Well, this is becoming something of a cricket score at the moment, and they are all over the Lakers at the moment. And Howick Hornet, as mentioned, on debut in this championship, the provincial championship, Nicholas, but he's played strong as well. This time the ball, beautiful show and go there from David Toitu. Another dummy to wrap it up as well from Wilson.
Yeah, great work from Nicholas Wilson. It was that pass under pressure right then to free the man outside him. Then he stayed on the inside and the show and go to score a try. Normally a toiler in terms of what he does for the side, but great to see him score a try. And I think everyone's going to be lining up now with the expressive football that's being played and how easy they're making yards. It's always a hard one, though, for a side when you're making inroads at will, is staying calm, sticking to what you need to do to earn the right to go out and play some good football.
The co-captain, but a decent look. Really made the last one curve from left to right. See if that might be his style again this time. Just drifting across to the left. But really, I don't think he looks overly concerned about the miss as he looks up at a scoreboard that reads pretty encouragingly for the supporters of the Stingrays. 30 points to 0. Well, there's always a chance that the score could push out like this. Sports aficionado like you are watching today, hoping that it wouldn't. But hey, sport's got its own way of playing out. At the moment, seems to be running a little to form, though, because George Edwards is making the defensive efforts look substandard as he bounces to his feet again and tries to go on with it. Referee, his hand a second. Back it up there, Georgie. Quick play the ball now. As you mentioned, Monty, it's like the Stingrays have grown another arm and another leg. And everyone's lining up to have a bit of a slice of the pie.
Still making good decisions, though. They're not chancing their arm too much. They realise when they have to take the ball to ground play and just go again. That's some of the play that I expect to see a lot more of from the Stingray side. He's showing it right now. Beautiful in and away.
Edwards is good and very elusive. But really, the defence is just all over the place at the moment. They come down the short side. Problems continuing for the Lakers.
Hand over there, fellas.
Wittenbach couldn't get the ball away, and so the Lakers finally get their hands on the leather.
That's what I was talking about, making good decisions. Yeah, they're making yards at will. They got down to the right end of the field with ease, but you just got to finish it off. You've got to put that ball in behind the in goal. Come up with a back-to-back set, and there's no way that they'll be able to repel that.
It's Tufangai this time. Can't get through. In 16's Michael Blucher. Quick play the ball. Darcy Hunt is on in 14. That's him with the footy. 17, there's Ariati. The biggest on the field, Ariati. Manarewa, genuine size. Luke Armiger. Good defence from him now, midway. 40 and 50. Lakers end of the ground. Down by 30. Time to carry forward for Jeremy Siulepa.
12, square up.
The big 22 is Matt Filippo.
Last.
Onto the boot of Poma there.
Good.
Sending it downtown, and really not a lot of pressure put on Toi 2 then. A bit respectful in standing away from him, allowing him an unfettered opportunity to take the ball in.
Johnson, good work, mate.
Well, the Lakers have some players that are able to get their ball away and offload. It's just about getting numbers around them and playing to them and playing to their strengths. And I suppose having that confidence to do so.
Bleacher, Stowers, inside, only 80, he's lost the football. It's okay to play on. The Lakers have it. And the suggestion there was a hand in there, but just await the referee's call on this one.
Yeah, I think there was a handle on the ball, but it wasn't so much of a strip. Onus has got to be on the ball carrier. I think it was a loose carry.
Here we go, fellas.
You know, he should have more sliding down rather than having a go at the ball. I mentioned he's the biggest man on the field. Got to hold that with a bit more vigour.
Second's binding. Second's binding.
Yeah, he looks to be 130,
Wrap around, George.
doesn't he?
George.
And he moves well too. He uses that weight. He plays well. He'll be disappointed with that loose carry.
Down the right-hand side, they come through Dylan Shortland. It's in an engineering workshop, but plays his footy for Pacific out of Tokoroa. It's a darting little run. And some encouragement there. Quick play of the ball. Now it comes to Schulepper again. He'll put the fend on to start with. Wrapped up by Howard Brown, and a penalty for the Lakers. High shot.
Yeah. Regardless, this is going to help their cause.
Wait for it, wait for it.
Suilepa on the right side is really having a fantastic last 10-minute period. Looks like they've got some speed out there too, the Lakers.
Here we are.
Just see the makings of a good side. Just about getting the opportunity and being on the equal playing field. Look at this style for speed and step. Aussie again. He's been good. There's other fast, lively characters outside him too.
17. Yep.
Yeah, he's willing. And a lot of really good ball as the backdoor effort comes on to Faleaiti. He's up through the middle. Men with fresh legs, working hard as well. Nicholas Wilson tackling his heart out. Darcy Hunt has the ball. Little short play. Lakers towards the line. The door shut by Wilson. Edwards was there as well. Here come the Lakers. It's a cut-out ball out wide and a step onto the inside and across the line for a try is the number 4, Cameron Walters.
Now that took some scoring. Cameron Walters take a bow. It's very nice. Finally got the ball out to this left edge when it's been down the right edge the whole time. Skip ball on the catch. He stepped off his left. Did enough to get Stowers off him on the bump. Get across. Beautiful bit of footwork. Maybe Stowers going a little bit too high. Plenty of numbers coming over, but it's all a bit too late. As finally, the Lakers are on the board. Cameron Walters, thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. Must have been hard for them looking up at the 30-0 scoreline. That'll at least give them some credibility. It's been a difficult 30 minutes for them. Scored out wide by the welder that plays for Ngati Pikau. Cameron Walters. Now Aussie Tufangai with the kicking duties as well. 20 metres out and about 7 or 8 metres in from the western touchline. Steadies himself with his big left foot. That's that one nicely enough. He's had the accuracy, but perhaps not the weak picks.
Well, Dale, we've seen what it's been like many times when a team scores a try, how much it lifts the spirits. The next set, when they come back and they run even more potent and straight and direct and with purpose. And let's see if that's the case now for this Lakers side. They'll be buoyed by that try. Come in the nick for time too before the break. If they're able to score some more points, to go in pretty happy after looking pretty sad on the scoreboard.
Time you run. Line's good.
You're watching the promotion relegation final here at Mount Smart Stadium.
Lay on.
This is the Bay of Plenty Lakers against the Counties Manukau Stingrays. My husband with the call, Kia ora. My colleague, Monty Beethan. Great to have you along here enjoying the football today. The last games of local league for 2017. As we see the Lakers now with a bit of a spring in their step as William Cook gets wrapped up. There's a mill worker, Willie. Come down to the short side, a little bit of a dummy and through initially. But then it's Stowers who wraps up Darcy Hunt. Down the right side they come and the ball's popped in for a charging effort here. Big back row of Whareaiti. Here's the left foot kick downtown. It will just go over the head of Edwards. An awkward bounce for him as it goes back in field. He takes it on the 20 metres. Shrugs away one, but he can't get away from the tackle of the try scorer Walters, who puts the fullback away 15 metres out from his line.
Good line speed there from the Lakers, which is good. Transitioning straight into defence and giving it a whirl.
30 points to 4 down the right-hand side, and then a step back into the traffic. Tufangai is there on the defensive work. Play the ball now for the Stingrays. Stowers gets the kick towards touch. Scooting towards touch as well.
Well ahead all the time in the world. Still didn't have too much of an angle to play with. It was a nice kick from Stowers. Got to realise that you've got to be there to pressure the kickers. That sort of time is too much time for an experienced campaigner like that. With that going for the 40-20 even. And I think he's in, so that's definitely a 40-20. I thought he was inside. So that's a big play just before the break. Counties with the feed out.
Yeah, it was a good play. I wasn't quite sure if it was inside the 40, but subsequent viewing shows that he was. So skillful work there from Mr. Stowers, who will feed the scrum as well, 10 metres out from the try line. 30 points to 4, a dominant performance for Rod Ratu's men. Looking back up on the inside, and the ball's been jarred loose. The Lakers have it.
Yeah, squeezed out of Edwards. He sure does, and I think the outside backs in general for this side are pretty quick, fleet-footed. It's nice to see them getting a go. It'd be nice if they get a bit more room. This man with his second face can actually create a lot. He's been good, Sialepa.
He has Darcy Hunt. Pushes it back to the left-hand side and just trying to create an overlap here. Moving up quickly and reading it well as well, the co-captain. Of course, is William Stowers. The back row of Whareaiti. Has it, looking for the offload. Gets that delivered nicely enough too as Darcy Hunt is wrapped up. Works at the warehouse and plays for Picquiao. Short throw play. Johnson Penny gets it back for Hunt. Now the kick. Nicely positioning himself, taking that ball with skill and anticipation as the fullback Edwards. Nice little run here, and Geronimo Doyle is away from one, make that two. They're chasing Geronimo Doyle. Can he get the pass away? Holy, he's around 18 metres out.
Well, they were chasing, but no one was tackling.
10.
Till they got the memo.
3.
That's a real shame now. Huge blow. 10 minutes in the bin.
You're off for 10. Professional foul.
Aussie Tufangai is one of their best, really, and he's been given 10, so they'll have to soak up 3 here and another 7 off the back of the half-time break. But here's the tap and go now, and here difficult times. 12 playing 13. The Lakers already under pressure. You can double that up as Johnny Vutenbo gets it out to Gillette. As easy as that. There's an overlap on the left side, exactly where Aussie Tufangai was, but is no longer. And the Stingrays ram home another advantage.
Johnny Vutenbo, experienced campaigner. He running over his line, coming in away, and he knew that he's going to be short. We go back to Geronimo Doyle and the run. And he would plenty of chases, no one tackling. Finally, they got onto him. They put him down, and we'll have a look at that. Look at that. Got him to the ground, and then we'll see there the professional foul. Probably a little bit unlucky, but Johnny V knew what he did. Look, he took 3 men out then. He ran at Sulepa. He came to an overs line. He ended up taking 3 men, getting them in for that try to be scored.
There he is, Aussie. I don't know, there's a bit of a tough call on him too. At 30 points to 4, I suppose holding a player down is not going to make a heck of a lot of difference. But anyway, the referee says, no, I'm not going to put up with that. And Tufangai is on the bench. Just acknowledging Geronimo Doyle. Of course, it's not normal that you get a rep spot coming out of the second division. He played his footy for Tahu, who of course spent 2017 in the Shaman Cup. But a credit to Geronimo Doyle's form for John Auckland in the Leopard Strip that sees him in this squad. As, everyone's doing their
Johnny
Danger things.
Yeah, it was. Snapping the neck, as you do. Look at that. It's actually quite a nice night. I thought the rain was going to come down. At the moment, it's been held off. I want to jinx these boys. Let's hope that it stays that way, because the type of football we're seeing, especially from the Stingrays, has been good to watch.
Behind.
34-4, just a minute and a half until the half-time break. And that's good for the Lakers. And they have 1 minute, so they're just trying to do something interesting in that 1 minute.
And no one wants to form a scrum. So they're going to run out of time. Just realising now that they've got to get in there. They've got to make use of the minute remaining. Just ticking down now, 50 seconds to go.
A spare thought for this Lakers team. They've had a good year, but they haven't been challenged in this way. Counties Manukau smarting, of course, by even being in this position. So Rod Ratu would have spoken to his men saying, hey, we're better than this. And, so far this afternoon, we've seen some pretty good footy from the team in red, black and white.
Good, guys, good.
This man has tried hard to down the right edge. Jeremy Sulepa.
Up 15. Here we
A
are.
bit of an awkward fall for Futumba. Quick play the ball, delivered up here for Johnson Petty, and now to Opeta Utanga.
Blue Star, 17 up, square.
Utanga, another of the Pacific players. And that one was a chance, but a double knock on. And we won't even get a chance to set the scrum, because the hooter will go in the background, I suspect, in about 6 or 7 seconds. And it has been a dominant first half, as the scoreline would suggest here, 30 points ahead at the half-time break. And there's the hooter in the background. So a solid performance, tries aplenty for the Stingrays, and tough work ahead for the Lakers. Hope you're enjoying the action. Nevertheless, it's the promotion relegation here in the final series of the New Zealand Rugby League Premiership. Great to have you along. Of course, coming up later, Akarana against Waikato as well. Great to have you along. We'll take a break and be back soon. 34-4, the Stingrays lead the Lakers here at Mount Smart. Welcome back. There was a tri-fest here for the Stingrays in the promotion relegation game. David Toitu got it started, and then they just kept coming thick and fast. Look at this one from Johnny Wuttenbo. Showed some great skill to get the ball down too close to the line.
Left-hand carry over the line, no doubt about it, was good. And it was the try up the middle where we saw the boys going to that edge first. Look at that, keeping the ball alive. Stow was drawing, long ball. Nice feet coming back on the inside.
He was looking smart. This guy, Armiger, look at the run from him. He peels back the meters, gets the offload to Joyce, who comes flying up through the middle. Very, very hard to stop that skillful play from the number 9.
He's been good, Armiger. And then we saw another bit of effort there. We've seen plenty of second phase. This is when Johnny V comes on the overs line and he goes across 3 defenders just as they got their men sent off to the bin, a professional foul. For the try scorer, Royden Gillette.
They weren't finished there. Keep a look out. This try was wonderful. Also, David Toitu steps on the inside and puts it back on the inside for Nicholas Wilson. He's been a very solid performer as well, the second rower for Rod Ratu during their campaign. And then a try which pleased us in the commentary position, perhaps you at home as well. Always like to see the underdog getting up, and Cameron Walters gets at least a piece of the action. This is a wonderful run from Geronimo Doyle. Comes up trumps at the back end anyway, because Tufangai has an indiscretion. He's still in the sin bin. That's Aussie there. Just laid on Geronimo for too long, and he really did stop what was looking like an inevitable try in his absence as well. Numbers for the Stingrays, and they're able to score out wide.
Johnny V doing all the hard work. Realised they were a man short. He went across 3 defenders as he put his man, Jordan Gillette, over for a try.
So here they are, the hardy souls who have come to support their men and their teams. Plenty have travelled up from the bay as well. I heard of some coming from Tokoroa as well. But 30 points behind they are at the break. Great to have you along here. This is the promotion relegation. The Stingrays look like they're going to be safe for this season. Well, no, we've got plenty of action still to come. 40 minutes of football on the other side of the break. 34-4. The Stingrays lead the Lakers. Welcome back, and 30 points in this one. The Lakers are the first out onto the field. Monty Beetham, let's go straight across into it, mate. What can they do to just bring a bit more credibility back to their effort here tonight? No one's expecting them to knock over the Stingrays with such a lead, but even so, if they can hold their own for the first 20 minutes, what needs to happen here?
Yeah, I think Paniora Daniels would have been saying at half-time, look, we know that when we're down there, we do have the capability of scoring tries. How we're going to do that is by offloading, by throwing caution to the wind, because they've got multiple players in that side who can do that, and then be ready for that, and then try and play around that. But defensively, you have to be a lot better. You've got to come off your line, and you've got to really have that intent, shoulder in first, and that will stop, those early collisions will stop them going forward and then creating havoc for them, because that's what's happening right now at the moment. For the Stingrays, they just keep what they're doing well. They're rolling, don't get too excited, make good decisions, realise that a quick play of the ball is just as good as trying to make the extra yards or offload.
Well, it's been a long season for both these teams, and of course they'll be looking forward to hanging up their boots for some months and getting out the jandals and the zinc.
Oh yes, that'd be nice. I'm looking forward to those days too, especially here in
won't be a while for you, mate. You've got a big involvement here, and we'll let you know too about a rugby league greats luncheon the Butch, or Sir Peter, is putting together, and it's got an interesting lineup of ex-Kiwis, including Stacey and Olsen and Tawada and Logan, Stephen, Jerome. Oh, I can't see Monty in there, but I'm sure you'll be there too. And tickets available there on the 27th of October at the Ellerslie Function Centre. Rugby League Greats Luncheon. Check it out. This is Adiaiti with a surging and powerful run, and a reminder to the Lakers that they're playing in the big time now. This effort too is doubled up as we see Blucher himself is no slouch when it comes to hauling footy forward. Well, they've started where they left off, really, at the back end of that first half.
It's nice to see Perry coming in with that great shoulder on Blucher. It did make an initial stop. A small man on big man, and that's what you want to see. Look at that.
Geronimo Doyle, they'll be playing the first 7 minutes of this half without Tufangai as well.
Shoulder. 12.
A penalty
Shoulder.
on the number 12, Siulepa.
It's been good, Siulepa. He's a big boy as well. He can play on the edge. He's got nice feet, but that time he came in and he put his big frame in front defensively.
Here we are, fellas. Here we are.
Jeremy Siulepa, the 12, has played some New South Wales Cup actually for Newcastle. So he's got some experience, has returned home obviously. Now the Stingrays find themselves 15 metres out from the try line. Dummy half work for Howard Brown and out to Blucher. He's got a nice attitude with his football, earns a penalty as well. They won't bother about the 2, I don't think. But a couple of words.
He's a big boy, Blucher.
Let's just tidy it up, okay? A couple of penalties in that ruck and tackle here, okay? Let's tidy up.
So Johnson Petty Says, okay, ref, but doesn't talk to his players. Very few captains do say anything to their players. And there's Blucher, he just comes straight across, and that is too easy. An embarrassing try, to be honest, for the Lakers. That time around, they look like a schoolboy squad.
Well, with 38 minutes left to go, if you're letting people run the ball like that and come through with ease, you're in for a long night at the office, and it's going to be one that's going to be remaining as a nightmare for years to come. No doubt about it. Yeah, he can run straight and hard, Blucher, and he's done that with his runs already in the second half. There's no way he should be able to go through 3-4 men like that under your posts.
Well, remember the NZRL set up this competition deliberately to avoid these types of blowouts. They've been successful, the Lakers, in that second tier competition, and there's no disrespect for the other teams in the comp, far from it. But of course, when you come up against some of the heavy hitters, Auckland-based teams drawing on proud traditions and strong clubs, it's always going to be tough. But the Lakers know what to expect if they want to get into that top tier. At the moment,
well said,
a harsh reality lesson.
And well said, because the reality is that this side is, the county side has been amongst so many finals and won it over the years. And this time last year, they were duking it out with Akaranga Falcons, who we'll see after this match as they go against Waikato in the final of the Premiership. And of course, Waikato's won this game last year, and they've come up and shown that the championship, if you've got the belief and you work hard, can go all the way to the next title the next year.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. The hope is, of course, that Akaranga, who were a bit sluggish in their first hit out against the boys from down Tainui ways. Remember, we called that game down in Waikato about 3 or 4 weeks ago now. And Waikato were very strong, but Akaranga got the job done. And I'm thinking that they'll do that again tonight as well. But it'll be a plucky effort from Waikato. That's coming up off the back of this game this evening. Great to have some local rugby league. What I was getting at too is there's 3 weeks with no league. You're gonna have to play some replays.
I told you, mate, you swat up on your Rugby League World Cup teams. Who are you going to support? And obviously, there might be a number of teams that you support. Obviously, your Kiwi team, and then also your second team. Or maybe the other way around. The Kiwi team may be your second
What team are you supporting, Monty?
Oh, mate, Toa Samoa and the Kiwis.
Oh, you can't support two, mate.
Of course I can. I've played for two. I played for Toa Samoa at the World Cup.
Yeah, but you played harder for them than the black and white jersey, didn't you, Monty?
I was just trying to make the most of any time I got for either team.
Hey, good on you, mate. You're a bit of an ambassador for the game, Monty Beaton. Up the middle. Look, I keep looking at this Counties Manukau strip. I'm half expecting Taumalolo to turn up. Down the short side, the Lakers. Top back on the inside, and that's a kick downfield.
That's a nice
kick it all
take.
wee happy. George Edwards. I've always liked George's running style. He's good at the back and plays centre. In fact, we've seen him play at standoff as well. Loves his footy. I've loved commentating on his footy over the years. Neat bloke too, as we see Blucher again. He's been strong since he's been out there short side. Geronimo, Johnny Footenbow, defenders on. The Fijian flyer is wrapped up in the tackle there. Dylan Shortland, who comes across the top on him, and it's a little knock on. They should get Tufangai back in a minute and a half as well.
Well, I thought there was a hand in it. Me personally, there was two on the floor, but still the onus has to be on the ball carriers to see them come out. Johnny with a nice sort of run, two-hand carry, goes to one. You watch here, there was a hand indeed. Number 7, the size is still top class, Dale. Unlike Stephen McIver, who pointed to something different happening.
It's nice to have Stephen in the commentary position. He is Mr. League in New Zealand too, the face of our game for many, many years, and a good bloke. Right, here comes the 18. I just feel for these guys too, because they would have been full of expectation. Half of them would have been fizzing and unable to sleep last night. knowing that they're playing on the big stage and on television, wanting to do well.
Hold for tap, hold.
Looking at a 40-4 scoreline, it's perhaps a recording they won't want to view too often in future years. But anyway, there's the quick play the ball, and the Lakers have it. Sulepa. It's Tufangai's back in there. He'll be wanting to make amends too, Aussie, as the Lakers show us a little something. Drop off on the inside, finds Dennis Newton. He's from the Taupo Phoenix. There's a Kaukoki, lives in Reparoa. Here's a spinning effort too. Down the short side we come. Cut out ball over the top and into the hands of Cameron Walters. Jeter all over him. 12 out from the try line. Johnson, Petty, Tomare, a floating ball with a sort of half volley that ends up in Dylan Shortland's hand. And Dylan's only a couple of metres out from the try line. Can the Lakers do something from close range? Cook puts a kick into the end goal, but he cooks it too much and it goes across the dead ball line.
Well, it's a sad way to end a set. Enterprising stuff from the Lakers. Good to see. Now they're throwing caution to the wind. As Geronimo Dole breaks free. That's what you want to see from the Lakers. Finish strong, finish proud of your efforts, and realise that it's probably going to be another year if you do well again in the Championship League before you get a shot at the big time. So enjoy what minutes are remaining.
You're not wrong. That's been a little mistake there. It's gone backwards. It's still okay then. Referee Simon Taylor says I'm okay with that. Tracking. Great, Nick. Again, some tribute to the ground staff here at Mount Smart. It's been in wonderful condition through 2017.
Time off. Justin.
Getting a bit frustrated here now.
Yeah, that was you.
Captain out again.
Facial. I told you to clean up the ruck. You need to lead by example as a captain. That was a facial. Don't need any more of that, okay? I don't know, mate. Match managers.
Johnson Perry. Hey, what do you mean, ref?
Facial. Stowers kicks to the far side.
Here we are, fellas. Here we are. Go.
And here come the Jets. A little bit quiet for a few moments. You think that they'll bust out here again. Armiger on the far side. Danger times again for the Lakers as the big men come rolling forward. Dennis Newton is the defender. Needing a quick play the ball. Out it comes to Keanu Dawson. Full of skill. Plenty of runners. This is Edwards. Got a good fending game too, Georgie. Trying to slide past with the counter today. He shuts the fullback down right in front of the sticks. Out of dummy half, Howard Brown. I thought he was going to dive for the line, and he is a touch short. The ball is punched out quickly. V goes underneath towards the line, and the Lakers are still there, still alive. Play on, and away goes the number one, William Cook, out into the field of play.
Knock on, fellas. No advantage. Knock on. Tackle 4.
And you hear Mr. Taylor saying he's just waiting to see how much of an advantage Willie Cook might have received, but not enough. So the scrum gets set on the 10 with the Lakers feed.
Great to see some heart from the Lakers. Great opportunities there for the Stingrays. They had a couple of options, repelled each time.
Okay, fellas, let's bind up.
Defensive system, you see them coming in now. There's a look at Johnny being strong. This time they knew he couldn't get across the line. He's done that previously, so they got numbers in the tackle. They kept them upright. He knocks the ball on.
Let him up.
I must admit, I haven't had a look at the Fijian team, but they've got a position in the training squad's a real credit to Johnny Futtenbach.
2, no markers, no markers.
As we see the Lakers just trying to find a way through the Stingrays' defence. 10 minutes into the second half, 40 points to 4. And another mistake here for the Lakers.
Knock on there, fellas. No advantage.
Just had word that the Fijian side gets named today. It's been nice over the last sort of week, seeing the squads get thrown out, seeing which stars going to be wearing which colours and who's going to be facing off. Clubmate versus clubmate, old friends, coming foes. It'll be a good month of rugby league brought to you here by Sky Sport.
That brings out the best, doesn't it? Remember the influence Jared Hay had on the Fijian squad a few tournaments back. But they're always competitive, that's for sure. And of course, some of the Pacific nations even increasingly competitive for obvious reasons. Tongan Rugby League must be rubbing their hands together at the thought with some very heavy hitters lining up for them.
I think rugby league fans in general are rubbing their hands together because they get to see these competitions. But Kiwi pool's going to be the pool of death, that's for sure.
There's Blucher again. He's been really good since he's come on, Blucher. There's Kanu Dawson. Big, strapping young guy. Had some solid football in the Warriors 20s. A little bit of a scramble there for Shortland, and he'll be held in goal. So a good chase here from the Stingrays. Still just the one try scored here in the second half, and that was to Blucher. After we looked at the halftime scoreline of 34-4, at least they're working hard still, and you know, you can understand it too if they drop their heads a little bit when they look up at the scoreboard and there's nothing really to play for now.
Yeah, but I've been impressed with counties and what they've done. Obviously, they're making some easy inroads. A lot of would-be defenders falling off tackles, but still they're keeping strong to what they need to do, making good decisions and playing more of a team-based game. As this man once again, he's been strong, like you mentioned.
Police now, 14 square. Keep coming right side, good. Go.
Howard Brown, he gets hold of the ball, the Market East player, and pushes forward to the 20 metres. Shortland is the tackler. Edwards slides to acting half. Down the right side for Nekrom Ariaiti. And the penalty to the Lakers for using an elbow or a shoulder in the run.
Yeah, that's the first one I've seen.
Well, there it is. Nekrom. Build like George Rose.
Got feet just as good as George Rose as well. Nekrom Ariaiti. At times similar to a name from yesteryear, Mark Tukey, and what he could do. Big man, but some quick feet.
You know, when you say that name, my head immediately goes to a mini.
Exactly.
Everyone says Tukey, and I think mini immediately. The biggest guy in the smallest car. It was a screamer, wasn't it? He was a popular guy.
I know you weren't talking about Minnie Mills, that's for sure. He's a good man, popular man, both in the Eels colours and in the Warriors colours.
Indeed.
Willie. Yeah, and I've seen hands on there, okay? It's pretty clear to me. That's why there's a penalty. You need to have a chat to them so they don't come at me, okay? Here we are, have them out. Strip.
Well, not sure that was the case. Plenty of guys, obviously, need to get hands on the ball to stop them from offloading. Once again, it was a loose carry.
Hold for tap, go.
Tukfai with the tap. Great run. Yeah, good gutsy carry there from Rikiana Talangi.
Oh, go.
Oh, he's tried hard too. Another guy who works in the forest. Penny gets the offload back now to Hunt. And this is Weehapi. Short side Lakers. And there were numbers always too getting across to make sure that that danger down the left edge remained just that, a danger. Not conceding a try to the back row. Paleaitu now puts his head down and heads towards the line. Edwards is there to put him away. He's only a couple of metres out from the try line now as it's pushed quickly through the Lakers' hands. Isolated through the middle, the skipper Johnson Petty. He's shut down 3 metres out from the line. The Lakers will have another go as the needle threaded by the halfback Pomare, but the bounce is okay, and George Edwards comes up with the football and away initially from Pomare, who gets him eventually, and he'll play the ball on the 25 metres or thereabouts.
He's read it well, George Edwards. He's always been in the right place. The way he's been bringing the ball back has been awesome, starting to set up well.
Offside, 14-11, crouch left side.
40 points to 4, just the one try in the second half. feel like the Stingrays have just taken their foot off the pedal a little.
Almost 30 fellas, almost 30.
Michael Bleacher has been excellent.
Hold for that tap, hold for that tap.
We'll get a spell as a reward.
Go.
Well, this will put away some of the ghosts that Rod Ratu has been harbouring. A solid performance here to stay in the top tier for 2018. As we see the red machine come out wide to Dawson. Kanu charges his way forward. Shulepa makes the tackle. Dummy half work for Brown. They'll go down the left edge here. Numbers. It's a little tap on from Shortland, who couldn't retrieve the football. It's been knocked on here by the Lakers. Scrum feed for the Stingrays on the 10-metre line.
Well, he did the hard work. He plucked the ball. He got a hand to it. And when it was just about to fall in the bread basket, he drops it. It's a shame. Maybe the pressure coming across from Johnny Vittenball stopped him. Another chance for the Stingrays now, and you think after previous efforts we've seen where they've been camped down in this end in a good ball, and I think they'll be successful.
I wonder where the rain is that was predicted for Auckland. Hasn't fallen as yet. Maybe in the next game as we see a hole open up and a charge for the line, and that's his triple. Yes, that's 3 tries here. A hat-trick of tries for Royden Gillette. He's played very well today.
It was a nice line. All about the lines you run. They put the defenders in 2 minds. As you see him coming back. Thought it was going backdoor, but it wasn't. Look at that. He dissected 4 defenders. They didn't know where the ball was going. They showed, or looked like it was going to go out the back. But it was the supposed decoy runner hitting the line, taking the ball and scoring a hat-trick.
As we say, Royden was in the NRL rookie program. 2 of the guys in the Stingrays involved in that. Of course, Reece Joyce too from Howick, the NRL rookie. Royden likewise. There's been some strong showings here today. They've been up against a team that has struggled to just go with the momentum being built by the Stingrays. Perhaps the pace of the game a little faster than what they've experienced in their earlier headouts this season.
Hey Rod, it's still time to go back on then.
Want to also pay tribute to a couple of guys who are getting acknowledged tomorrow at the ex-Kiwis Association AGM. One in particular, perhaps the oldest now, ex-Kiwi, Ray Cranch, who's, I think, well in his 90s now, mate. I think he might be 95, but he was in the 1953 tour to Australia, so, you know, stories to tell and a richness of Kiwi history that, you know, it's at times forgotten, but not tomorrow. And Don Hammond as well is also being singled out for his wonderful stewardship of that ex-Kiwi association for so long, and of course the man who really has been the driving force behind the New Zealand Rugby League Museum at Rugby League House here in Beasley Ave. It's a wonderful museum if you do get a chance to ever visit. Some fabulous memorabilia of the fantastic characters who've contributed to the Kiwi history over the years. The museum available to you all here in Beasley Street, just behind Mount Smart Stadium. I think you just need to ring to make an appointment to visit. So it's now with the Stingrays up 46-4, 20 minutes to go here in the promotion relegation final as they find themselves with another hog shot over the far side, and then the wheels to burn. And down the outside goes Buchanan Rafferty. He streaks away to score yet another try.
Well, Williams Towers goes down the short side with some beautiful shape, runners inside and out, running some good lines. So straight away on the back foot, that the back-pedaling defensive line doesn't know who to take. He shows inside, comes outside on their short unders play. It's been good. He scored a try today. Nice pass or assist from Wilson. Very good try. Rafferty, Buchanan Rafferty.
I think he might be taking the conversion attempt as well. Well, I've got a bit of info that he was raised in North Queensland, but I don't know quite that or what that means, whether he was raised as a footballer in North Queensland or just grew up there as a kid. But if you're raised in North Queensland, where footy's a big game up there, isn't it?
It always has been, even in the days when they struggled to be a successful team or competitive team. They still loved their rugby league. And once they put together an amazing outfit led by that man JT, they've just been heroes amongst the people up there in Townsville and around the surrounding areas which make up the Cowboys.
What, Jason Tomalolo?
That other JT.
Oh, the other JT. Gotcha. John Tamihere. There's a few JTs back in history as well. John Timu springs to mind.
Oh yes, he's down there in Manukau, I believe now. John Timu. A builder.
Time to run! Time to run!
Big scoreline, 50 points to 4. A shellacking. But I don't want to be too disrespectful to the Lakers men. I mean, they've tried. They've just been outgunned here. And have a look here. There's something on again. It's Buchanan fending away from one. Comes back again and is wrapped up by Yanis Mir on the far side.
Hold! Hold! One.
The teacher aide makes the tackle on the far side for the Lakers. Hasn't had too many opportunities, Yanis.
Hold. Go. One marker. Two.
But I tell you what, there's plenty of guys putting their hands up now, including Aelupo. So he has a powerful carry this time. Midway, 20, 30. Lakers into the ground. Numbers to the left. Little kick for Geronimo Doyle, and the bounce just beats the winger. It was all on, though, and they didn't miss by much.
Oh, it was the bounce of the ball where they missed by. Of great plays. Joyce. Boot to ball. Fortunately, Geronimo wasn't able to pick it up. Would have been a wonderful try. See now, scoreboard still with plenty of time on the clock. 50 points to 4. You just hope that the Lakers are able to keep the scoreline a little bit closer. Don't let it blow out anymore. You can see why they've been successful in their competition. They've got the makings of a good side. Just that week in, week out football with that competition that they're not used to against a wounded county side who are normally featuring in the business end of the competition. This time find themselves down the bottom.
Thank you, Monty. And a reminder too, there's only seven or eight clubs in the Bay of Plenty competition, and really two that the coaching staff deem to be competitive. It's the Pacific Sharks out of Tokoroa and also Pikau, of course, out of Rotorua.
Wrapping around, second effort with the hand. Make sure it's behind, mate.
I know that the catchment for the Stingrays is not too many clubs more, but the level of play week in a week out perhaps is just a little higher. And we see Tufangai played properly a couple of games too, Aussie.
Here we are.
He's got some spirit.
Go, one.
Young and enthusiastic legs and attitude as we see Siolepa again. He's been one of the best today for the Lakers.
Up 9. Right side,
Counting down to the last quarter hour of play here. Shuffling across the left side as well, Matt Filippo. An opportunity with the ball in hand. He's from the Noataha club. This time the Lakers thinking they're in charge. David Toitu says, I don't think so. Gets away from one. The tackle is made. I think it was Silupa on the chase, and this time it is Petty. Who wraps him up with some assistance from Utanga.
David Toitu, wonderful work to grab that kick that was almost in the end goal. I thought there was a scoring opportunity for the Lakers. Toitu, who scored a try already tonight, able to defensively stop the Lakers threw at him.
Looking for numbers, Geronimo Doyle is on the left. He won't be used this time from Gillette. He's already got a hat-trick today. It's been a wonderful effort. In the centre, on the left edge today. Joyce is into the action. Woodenbow this time. Johnny wrapped up just short of the halfway. Out of dummy half goes Armiger again. He's been very effective. Looks up, quickly makes a decision to go for a dummy half run. Out to the right side, and Vanisi gets it on to Stowers, who launches it. Not one of his best kicks, but it's gone backwards. Play on. Edwards has the ball. He'll get the pass away. In fact, I don't think you're going to tackle George Edwards today. Everyone's throwing the ball around. It's still alive. It's out to Gillette. He's got some numbers here. Gillette straightens. There's runners on the inside. This is Armiger. Armiger with a cutout ball on the far side. And Nicholas Wilson is there to put the icing on the cake.
Well, they went from one end to the other and then back through the middle again, throwing the ball around. See, it's the offload, second phase. Look at that, ball goes back, they get onto it. Johnny Vittenbelt keeps the ball alive, comes out to left. There's the guys come around the back. Now, this is the play we want to see them come back through the middle. Have a look at this pass here. Oh, it's borderline, but still, the referee was in reasonable place to see it. And he gave them the try, or awarded the points. Look at that, from coast to coast. Oh, well, almost hit the referee, actually. That guy who's been good, Nicholas Wilson, scores another meat pie. What he's been doing on the field, ball in hand, offensively, his work ethic, being rewarded with a good try.
He's got 11 tries so far today, the Stingrays, and this has been a thumping performance. Rod Ratu, if he had any doubts about his squad's abilities, which I don't think he did have too many doubts, actually, but he's got reason here to acknowledge the improved performance when they had their backs to the wall. That one's waved away, so 54-4. Something of an embarrassing scoreline, but I guess if you contextualise it and look at the makeup and the players available to the Bay of Plenty squad, you can understand it. I've certainly been impressed with some of the attitudes on display. Tufangai's played strongly. Sue Lepper's been good today. Johnson Petty has tried hard, as has the fullback William Cook.
Stay behind.
Tarangi's been good. Evans has had a bit of offload. Even Darcy Hunt is a schemer in the dummy half position when he came off the bench. A lot to like, and I think this team has the makings of a good side. And obviously, when they don't get to play week in, week out with each other and against opposition of real note, they find it hard to compete.
Remember, they're up against players considered the very best in New Zealand resident play. Of course, the next opportunity is into NRL or New South Wales Cup. So this is the best of the bunch out of Auckland, which has our strongest domestic competition as well. But in saying that, we've got to acknowledge that the code is having some difficulty maintaining players in an increasingly technological world, I suppose. There are many distractions for young sports men and women.
Good now.
There's certainly a lot to be gained from camaraderie, the networking that team sport provides. And here's Geronimo Doyle. Spinning towards the line, Geronimo, and can he get the ball away? No, is the answer, and it will be a turnover. Not the first time Geronimo's been caught on the fifth tackle, but often that's that fifth option play where you'll charge your hand and get it wide rather than go for the kick. So turnover, the Lakers have it on their own line.
Yeah, 50 points difference, but still fighting to get in there and keep Geronimo up, to not get awarded the try or give them a chance to score yet another try. They come out of their own end. They're all trying to get in there and have a carry. The outside backs you've mentioned, they have got a bit of speed. All willing workers. That man Giannis Mia hasn't had much chance. When he does, he runs with the ball. Short in stature, but geez, he's got some speed.
So we're into the final 10 minutes of the promotion relegation. I remind you too, if you've just picked up on our broadcast from Mount Smart today for Sky, coming up, it's the Akarana Falcons up against the Waikato squad. This is for the Premiership. Akarana will go in as favourites. Waikato knocked over Counties Manukau last week to earn themselves a position in the final on points differential. The three teams ended round robin play with one loss apiece. So congratulations to the squad there. Kutia, who will be the coach for the Waikato squad, coming out in about half an hour's time. Maybe even less than that, to be honest. 15 metres out with 9 minutes to play. A little knock-on as well on the far side of the field.
Tackle wasn't complete. Scrum, county's ball.
Here it is. Goes towards the line. He plays the ball. There you go, once again. Ball coming out. You need to hold on. Possession is paramount.
You've been pretty complimentary of the attitude here by the Lakers as well.
Hold the weight.
Obviously referencing the many lakes in the Bay of Plenty district.
I'll go over this one.
Main one, of course, named after Rotorua. And you've got Lake Taupo as well, the Pacific Sharks, Tokoroa. So the Lakers, what an interesting tag line for the boys from the Bay. Forced to tackle hard here again as the back rower sneaks through. Reece Charlie pops the pass off to Stowers. Muscled to ground on the tackle of Cook. And it's Armiger who takes it from dummy half. The ball back on the inside. Cleverly delivered to Edwards. Doesn't come off this time, but will another. They continue with that approach. A beautiful dummy here as well from Stowers, and he's away to score himself, Willie. William Stowers carves the Lakers up on his own.
Well, everyone fooled. Didn't know what he's doing. Put that down to the two-hand carry. The show with his face. Look at that, goes to the line. Look, a nice little bit of footwork and evasion. He shows out wide. The two defenders beat. Just with the drop. Look at that nice bit of footwork. Touch background, show and go. Does really well. Nice little dive too. And smiles.
Always looks good to have a couple of them on the tape. Did you get one in your career? A diving try?
You mean one try or a diving try?
Or a try, a diving try is what I'm getting at.
Thanks for giving me all the credit there, Dal. I scored many tries over my career, but obviously in the first grade, you know, far and few between, but we did have our roles within the squad.
Yeah, okay. How many did you have? How many did you score?
NRL? 10. 10 in NRL.
Well, 10 more than me, so take my hat off to you, mate.
Thanks, mate. You know, a couple of international tries too, just quietly. 1,000 tackles.
In the under-11s, though.
Per game.
And the flags are up. It's 60 points to 4 now. There is your try scorer, William Stowers. An extensive touch career as well. Glides across the field, William.
He sure does.
And got a lovely swerve, good anticipation through an audacious dummy then to set up the try.
Behind the kicker. On you one. That's good.
So let's hope that they can keep the score to where it is at 6 minutes to play. This time it's Tautanga Vanisi. He's given a good contribution here in the Stingrays colours. Lupo, offload beautiful to the Stowers. He's got wheels. This time he is pegged back. Yanis, who comes in from the wing from the far side to make the tackle. Armiger.
Surrender! Let him up!
Just in the number 9 play nowadays, when you look at the longevity of Cameron Smith, the way he chooses, the intensity of his tackles, and there's that dance down the sideline for a try. If it is, it's Buchanan Rafferty, and I think, would that be his third? That is his third as well. So hat-tricks to both Rafferty and Gillette today. Smooth as silk down the right side as we see the setup of Charlie. Kept alive. Nice little top ball from Nicholas Wilson. It's been a standout today, Nicholas.
That's a quality try, all the way from your loose forward getting out, playing a little unders line. With the big boys in the middle too. It's really good. Lupo, what he could do, mustering up onto that man is outside second row. Nicholas Wilson putting in Buchanan Rafferty in for another try. He's a big winger.
It is. You know, it's a good thing about league, isn't it? Sometimes you can have small guys, say a Slippery Morris type build, who was very effective on the wing. When I think back in time too, I think of a guy, Dennis Key. Dennis Keys, I know it's going back a long time. He played for Point Chev. And Dennis was a Kiwi, but he was only a little guy. And then, of course, you've got these big, strong Rajra guys. And so it's just the coach's tactics and how he employs different players. But you can be a big winger or a little one, still be very effective. Rugby league's a game for all.
Well, it's the old adage, not the size of the dog, it's the fight in the dog. And that's the key thing. You know, give me a man or a player that is willing to put the body on the line and play with such intent, wanting to compete at every play over a guy or a person for that matter, as we've seen in the Women's League, who got all the size and ability but don't wish to use it.
It's a wonderful game. And when you talk of a sense of developing communities, sometimes I think families can overlook what's gained by an involvement in team sports. You know, these are guys who become lifelong friends. You need a job. One of them's got a dad who's a plumber. You know how it rolls. Hey, that's how teams work. And they support each other. As we see another effort down the right side, and Rafferty's away from one. Can he get the pass? Well, everyone's just full of passing at the moment.
It's because everyone's queuing up. They want their turn to get across.
Wehapi plays the ball. And now here's a solid carry this time around for Opeta Utanga. Hasn't had too many opportunities. Like I say, I really feel for the Lakers team as Tufangai comes under some pressure. Sent across from Tamai. Might we see a try to Sui Lepa? Certainly his carry towards the line's been encouraging. And he's wrapped up a couple of metres away as Tamai. It's the last roll of the dice with only 2.5 to play, and there is a knock on there. That's a bit of white line fever for the big guy who's lost the football. That's Matty Filippo.
It's a shame. Would have been nice for them to get into double digits, score a try in the last remaining minutes. That guy deserved one with Jeremy Siolepa. Enjoyed his play throughout the day. He said he's played a bit of time overseas in Australia. You can see how he was playing New South Wales Cup, I believe.
So into the last couple of minutes. Some fine play here for the Stingrays today. And I might also acknowledge Sean Clark as the assistant coach to Rod Ratu. Sean's been a great contributor to the local game, both as a player and just in his early stages of his coaching career, but a bit of a feather in his cap here to make sure that they didn't get relegated to the second tier. And Counties Manukau, it was Counties Manukau certainly expected to be strong performers in this top echelon of New Zealand domestic rugby league. Massive try scoring feats here tonight. 13 tries. Excuse the pause, took me a while to count them all. There's a lost ball and a double knock-on.
2 knock-ons, can't play advantage from there. First one against Counties. We'll see.
Into the last minute of play here, as you can see on your screen as well. 64 points to score to 4. 34-4 at half-time. And so tries to Blucher, Gillette, 2 to Rafferty, 1 to Wilson and 1 to Stowers in the second half. Has contributed to this massive scoreline here.
When you're ready. Out.
So the scrum feed now for the Lakers. They'll be pleased to hear the hooter in the background. Not what they were hoping for this evening, but they know what to expect when next they get an opportunity to challenge in this way. Counting it down to full time as the Lakers drop the ball off back on the inside for Sui Lepa.
Release now! Stand!
And there it is, the hooter in the background signals the end of the season for both of these two teams and the end of a dream for the Lakers, who had hoped to go up into Division 1 for 2018. That won't be the case, as they are reminded of what it takes, and they go down by 64 points to 4 here at Mount Smart Stadium against Counties Manukau. Well, there they are. Some satisfaction here for Rod Ratu's men. They were looking at an embarrassment of going into second division, but obviously with that scoreline we are reminded that they were far better here today, and congratulations to them. A solid victory And 7 tries in the first half, 6 of them in the second. 64 points to 4. We see the Lakers showing good sportsmanship as well. We'll be going down for some interviews with both teams in a moment. Tash is just preparing herself there. And 64 points to 4, a great win for the Stingrays over the Lakers. Let's go down to Tash Yeremia, who has the skipper for the Stingrays.
Yes, congratulations, Wheeler. Going into the half there, the first half was pretty awesome. You guys were ahead. What were the messages in the sheds?
Messages in the shed was just stick to what we're doing, those quick play balls, you know, doing all those 1% is right, which obviously, you know, come out and, yeah.
Must after the disappointment last week, it must feel like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders after that performance today?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, last week, man, the boys were just off, but you know, this week everyone switched on Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, just come into today's game with a whole new attitude.
It's been a long season for you guys. You can have a rest now. What are you going to get up to in the off season?
I guess you're going to stay in shape and yeah, just wait till next year's season.
Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations, and go and celebrate with your boys.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right, hey Johnson. Unfortunately, obviously, not the result that you were after today, but there were some glimpses of some positivity there.
Yeah, for sure. It was a tough game. We knew it wasn't going to come easy. We had a plan to look after our middle, and these big boys just keep punching through.
I'm sure you won't let that result put a dampener on your season, though.
Oh no. It was a huge effort for us just to get here. You know, full credit to our coaching staff and management for the good work they do in the short time.
Well, congratulations. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way, but safe travels back to Rotorua.
Sweet as, thank you.
Well, there they are, disappointed, but realistic as well when they stack up what has been quite a solid season for them. As mentioned, wins over Northland, Coastlines, a slight loss to Waikato Development, then wins over Wellington and Otago. So a pretty good season for the Lakers, although the final here in the promotion relegation game, obviously a blowout here as the Stingrays proved that they are a team of genuine class. The Stingrays 64, the Bay of Plenty Lakers 4.
.64 for the final, and Counties Manukau, the Stingrays, last year's beaten Premiership finalists, survive the promotion relegation match, and they survived in style, bashing up on poor old the Bay Lakers. And Monty Beetham joins me right now. Monty, that's the hard thing to accept, is the yawning chasm in the standard between the two sides.
Well, it's a step up, but don't forget the county Stingrays this time last year were in the final, and there's no doubt that they only just missed out because, I mean, at the moment, the Falcons are the team that were winning the majority of the games to be into the final, but the other three teams, or the other couple of teams, came down to points differential, and Manukau Counties had a point to prove, and they got the backlash today, the Lakers.
And I think Rod Rattu, who was very sort of understated, very quiet before the match, would be very, very happy with the way that one turned out. He said to us at the beginning of the evening that a lot of the teams that make up the Counties Manukau franchise had struggled in Fox this year, and it's actually affecting the guys quite a bit to lift for the Counties Manukau side.
Well, it makes sense. If you bring that form, individual form from what you did within the club, you bring it into a representative environment, you can play strong and you can play in and around that. But I was impressed with the Stingrays today and what they did as a team, because from the early ongoings within the game, they were making inroads with ease. People were falling off tackles, but they played, and they played a good brand of football, not trying to force the hand too much and not trying to do everything by themselves. So I think across the park was a very good effort by a Stingray side who were sort of a bit wounded going into this match, but really finished strong.
But one must pay credit to the Bay Lakers for getting to this point as well. They won to get to this point, and then they've just discovered how tough it is to step up to the Premiership. And there are a lot of fans back there in the Bay who are watching this tonight going, yeah, what might have been, but now you know what has to be. As we see the rainfall here at Mount Smart Stadium ahead of the main game, which is Akarana up against the Waikato Premier side. And this is an interesting one. the one thing I will be interested to see is if Akaranga start faster than they have in previous games.
Look, Akaranga has been the form team in this competition, no doubt about it. They're last year's winners. They're the current reigning premiers, and they've been getting better as the rounds have gone on. They've been in this situation before as the rain sets, similar to last year. So for them, they know what it's all about. Waikato, on the other hand, they've had a dream run, and now they find themselves in the final. The nerves, are they going to be able to handle that well? If they get behind early on, is that going to be a task too hard to come back from?
Monty, they were gutsy last week against Counties Manukau. They showed they can dig and grind, and that I thought was an impressive part of their game.
And they were gutsy when they first opened up the campaign at FMG Stadium against the Falcons. You know, they got away, or they picked back the Falcons to a really big lead to get close in the end. But the Falcons have just improved over the rounds, and I think now they're going to show you, like we saw Counties at the business end of the season, when it's time to step up and play to your best. They've done it time and time before, so I think they're going to do it again tonight.
Okay, well, you've been talking to Dal all about preparing for the World Cup. You ready to go?
I'm excited. I can't wait. We've got 3 weeks off to do our homework.
3 weeks or 2?
Oh, 2, 3. It's still 2 weeks too long. I can't wait to see the rugby league and the pool of death between the Kiwis, Toa Samoa, Tonga and Scotland. Don't forget Scotland, what they did on tour a year ago when they drew with the Kiwis. So there's a point to prove.
Who do you favour? Who do you favour?
Look,
okay. Toa Samoa and the Kiwis, right?
Toa Samoa and the Kiwis, but what Tonga have is just so exciting. X Factor galore, and geez, they are physical specimens, and their physicality will be one to behold, and I can't wait to do it from sideline and watch it all.
It is going to be an absolute ripper, mate. Go and enjoy the time off. I know you'll do something, you know, pump up, push some weight, some tin, whatever, and we'll see you when the World Cup comes around. Stand by. We've got the Premiership final coming up. Akaranga against Waikato live on Sky Sport 2 comes next here on Sky Sport.